Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. Thank you all for joining us today. Let me get this stand in place. Dale is here with us, checking in from work. Susie is here. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all. I see there are a few more people out there. If you're watching, please say hi. Let us know you're out there. It really helps. If you've never gone live for a group of people before, you may not realize, but it helps a lot for us on this end to know you're here. Because, I mean, some people may tell you the opposite. Maybe they don't want people to know, or they don't want to know that people are watching them. But for us, it makes a huge difference. Knowing you're here and knowing we're not just talking to ourselves. It's very, it can be kind of, you feel very unseen, or you feel self-conscious if nobody's watching, or if people are watching, because it tells us there are a certain number of people watching and nobody says hi, and you're like, does nobody like me? Does nobody want to say hi? So please say hi. Hello, Norma. Thank you for being here. We hope you're all having a great day. It has been an exhaustingly busy day here at Allegory Gallery. Andrew is working hard on finishing up a lot of things before he leaves. He's leaving at about he's leaving, I think, by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And he's heading down to Penland. He has a class that he's taking at Penland that he got a scholarship for, but he did not get a scholarship for the gas money, and he has to be on work study while he's there. So he's got to work. He's got to get to work when he gets there to pay for some of his room and board and all that good stuff, food and all that. So it's going to be a different experience for him, because normally a lot of that stuff is covered, or we're able to, piece together a little bit to pay for some of that extra stuff. But this time he's got work study, and that's kind of, I think, part of the whole scholarship thing. So, but we are still, of course, putting some of this money that we make every day toward his journey. It's going to be a lot in gas money. North Carolina we're in Pennsylvania, so North Carolina is quite a bit away from us. There's a bit of a drive. I don't know if it's 7 or 8 hour drive that he's going to be taking. And so that's a lot of gas. It's a lot of wear and tear in the vehicle. So that's why one of the reasons we do what we do here every weekday at 7:30 p.m. is hang out and sell things to you. But we also believe in knowing our community and knowing who you are. So we sit here and chat a little bit. You can probably hear there are construction vehicles around us. You might be hearing the backup sirens through the windows. It's too hot here not to have the windows open, but you might hear those. So just ignore those. We've got some construction going on in some of the houses around us. They're doing some work, and so that's what that is. Vicky is here. Hello, Vicky. Thank you for joining us. Laura is here. Hello, Laura. Thank you for joining in and saying hello. We appreciate you being here. Susie says the places look like they have good food. Andrew usually does get good food when he goes to these craft schools. A lot of the craft schools, most of them, I think, all have their own chefs. It's kind of wild. I have had some food from Touchstone, since that's one I've gone to. And when we were at Sawtooth, they had food catered in. We got lunch every day, and that was good too. They catered in from a different place every day, which was really nice. Kimberly's here. Hello, Kimberly. Thank you for joining us. So what's going on for all of you out there? I'll let you all let me know how you're doing, because my day has been a blur. While you're telling me what you've done today, hopefully in those comments, I want to talk a little bit about what Andrew's doing. So Andrew released this series of artwork, which we've shown you some of them. I'm going to go over them again today. This one, remember these? So Andrew released these. This was here in 2025, just about a month or so ago, I think, maybe less than that. time is a time is a construct here today. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. I don't know how long it's been since this or that. But he did those, and he had shown a few that were still in progress. So over the past few nights, in amongst everything else that he's been doing, he finished, I think, 11 more of these to finish up at least this part of the series. I don't think he ever gave the series a name. So he's had them on his Facebook timeline. He's been selling them from his timeline. They're $75 a painting. And that is helping to go toward all of his expenses for driving. The van takes more than that to fill up every time he fills up the gas tank. So every painting pretty much gives him one tank full of gas, and it's going to take multiple to get down there and back. So I will show you those. If anybody wants to purchase any of those through the live tonight, we'll allow you to do that. We also found some Noble Creatures originals that never made it to the website. I don't know how that happened, but there are 3 Noble Creatures originals that never made it to the website. So I've added those to the website today, and I'm going to show you those in person today because I don't know. I'm sure we probably showed them to you, but it's been a while. So I'm going to show those to you again. There's also more other Noble Creatures still on the website, both originals and the Noble Creatures Redux that are available. Then he also has another collage piece that he's never shown before, and I'm going to show you that. So he's been working on artwork in the evenings. He's been working on trying to get some class samples together for some of the classes he's teaching around the country, in New Jersey, in Winston-Salem, and in Pittsburgh before he leaves. He has also been just trying to pack and get ready to go. So I've been running around most of the day trying to do other errands, get the car gassed up for him, got him some snacks and some road trip things. I've been sorting things that are in the car that need to come out of the car and move into the other car so that I can take them, because I usually use the van going back and forth to work into the cottage and whatnot to haul orders and boxes and all that. So had to transfer things around. It has been a busy day. I also posted my pottery in the online store. My newest pottery is now available in the online store. Thank you so much. 2 of those pieces have sold already, 2 of the 3 from last night that I showed you. So I really appreciate that. That definitely helps. My pottery money generally goes to my class, but this week it's going to be going to Andrew's traveling. So I thank you all for that. Anna is here. Hello, Anna. Thank you for joining us. I feel like it's been, has it been a while since we've seen you, Anna? I don't know why. I feel like I don't know why. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I feel like it's been a few days. Norma is here. Hello, Norma. Lennis is here. Hello, Lennis. Amanda is here. Thank you so much for joining us from up in Canada. We appreciate that. Did I see? No. Okay, that's Vicky. I thought I saw Marianne's, our other Canadian friend's image pop up, but it was not. So I hope you're all doing well. Nobody is telling me what they're doing, though. Nobody's telling me how their day has gone. Nobody's telling me what they did. Your days aren't boring. Your days are exciting to me. I sometimes feel like people think their days are just boring, so they never say anything. I don't know if Donna is out here. I haven't seen Donna pop up yet, but Donna got her setup going for her show tomorrow and Saturday, Friday and Saturday. So if you didn't see that, that's in the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group. And you can go wish her well and encourage her to have a great show. She's one of the first people I think that we've heard that are having a show. So really appreciate her sharing that with us. And I love seeing show setups and what people do. Let's see here. Okay. Sorry, I was wondering. Somebody sent me something and I had to check and see what that was. Okay. Um, ba-ba. And let's see. Amanda says, it suddenly got hot here today. It's gotten hot here the last few days. Almost too hot. Like, I want to have, I was talking about this yesterday a little bit. That's like spring in Pennsylvania. I call it spring in Pennsylvania. It's like officially spring when during the day you start the day with the heater on in the car going to work. And then you go to lunch. For those of you who eat lunch, I just drive around multiple places doing errands. You for lunch you leave and you have to have the air conditioner on. And then when you're going home at night, you have to have the heater back on again. It's like this swing of temperature from anywhere in probably the upper 40s, lower 50s to the 70s or 80s and back down again. And that is what spring is like here. And I do love it, but I feel like we're getting a little too hot during the day. Like it's swinging a little too far up. I don't know what the temperature was today, but maybe it's because I was running around. No, it was 81. That's too hot. I was gonna say maybe it's because I was running around a lot today. Because I'm in a t-shirt. I was sweating today running around, and I'm like maybe it's just because I was, full of energy. No, it was 81 degrees. That's a bit much for spring. Can we hold off at like 74? 74 should be the maximum spring's allowed to be, I think. But yeah, anyway, so that's what it is. And Kimberly says, I spend my days working. I know, me too. Me too. And I do a lot of the same things every day, but I get on here and I have to tell you about my day. I have to tell y'all what's going on, keep y'all informed. At least I feel like that, right? Amanda says, got being 26 degrees Celsius. That's hot. I don't know what that translates to. I know when you get into the 30s, it's like 90 something. I don't know what 26 quite gets to in Fahrenheit, but I know that's getting warm. Norma had a quiet day, so I slept late because I had trouble getting to sleep. Then spent most of the day catching up on reading magazines that have been accumulating. That's a good day. I like that day. I talked to my mom a little bit today and asked her what she was up to, and she was out mowing the grass and doing some yard work. And, I thought it had been kind of wet around here recently. We've had some rain. We had a few days of rain, but everything's starting to dry out. She was talking about how dry her lawn already is. And I was looking around and I'm like, yeah, we're getting some singed grass starting to happen, that kind of yellow brown that starts to happen. And I'm like, that's too early. That should not be happening yet. But it is. Whoop. No. This thing, I tell you. Amanda says, yes, too hot for me. I love spring weather. 10 degrees Celsius is just perfect. I don't know what all this, I need to work this out for the majority of us being here in the US that watch. Let's see here. Oops, wrong window. 10 Celsius to Fahrenheit. 50. 50 is a little bit chilly. 50 is a little bit chilly for me still for spring, I think. But what did you say it was? It was 26. 26. 78. Yeah, so you're around where we are. We were 81. We were a little bit hotter than that today. But yeah, you're right there about where we are. Yeah, no, I think spring weather for me, 68, 74, somewhere in there. That's good for spring. You can dip down into the 50s low as the low. But yeah. Donna is here. Hello, Donna. We were just talking about you. Did you hear us? Did you sense it in the force? We were talking about you setting up and showing your setup. Says it's been so hot and so humid in central Alabama. Don't need that humidity. It's bad enough with the heat. I will take the heat without the humidity any day. I don't do well in humidity. Sorry, my allergies are getting to me. I've been talking all this time like my allergies are getting to me, but I don't see pollen. Well, Andrew came in to the room I was in. I was in the dining room working on the computer, and we don't use our dining room as a dining room, by the way. It's like the other office. And so he looked out, and the sun was just starting to kind of get lower in the sky, and it was shining on top of the van. And the van is blue, and the top of the van today was a golden yellow, and that is from all the pollen. So I'm like, well, I didn't think there was a lot of pollen out there, but apparently there's enough to put a nice thick coating on the car. So the pollen is out and about, and that is why I am nasally for days. Literally been nasally for days. Yeah, it's too much. And thankfully we're not humid though, because when it gets humid, my allergies get even worse. I get really congested. And so as long as it stays dry, I'm okay. Amanda says we don't need to be getting sweaty in spring. I agree. I know, right? What is this? Getting sweaty in spring. Just not right. There's something wrong with all of that. Vicky said, just finished work. Can't stay long. I need to go see my mom tonight for a little while. Well, thank you for joining us, Vicky, and hanging out. I'm glad you're hanging out with us anyway, as long as you can. That's the thing. We know that not everyone can stay the whole time we go live. And we go live for like 2 to 3 hours every night. And so that's a commitment. And we know that. And we appreciate anyone who can stay the entire time. We appreciate anyone who stays any amount of time. That is very much appreciated, especially in today's kind of climate and where we are as far as, business-wise, economic-wise. It's hard on small businesses. So as much as you can put out there, we will gladly accept and gratefully accept. Please do like and share. That's one of the biggest things you can do to help us all out, no matter what small business you are, no matter what small business you're trying to support. Liking, sharing, that really, really helps. That really, really helps. Amanda says 26, about 79. Yeah, too hot. Anna says, I was here Monday. I have a bead buying moratorium. LOL. I lurk occasionally. I get it. I thought it's been a few days though since we haven't seen you. We noticed these things. I think people sometimes think we're joking that we notice these things, or we just say that, but we do. We notice when people aren't around. And like I said, sometimes my scale of time is off. It's a thing with people with ADHD. And like I said, I think I have it. I've never been diagnosed, but signs point to yes from everyone with ADHD that I've talked to, and just from reading up on things. And so I get that bad sense of time. Like a week can pass and I feel like it was a day. Like I'll be like, oh, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to I read text messages like that too. I'll get back to them tomorrow. Suddenly it'll be like 5 days from now, and I'm like, oh, that was longer ago than I thought it was, because in my mind it's still yesterday. And I do that a lot. So sometimes when I don't see people, I'm like, was it really a few days, or has it just been like a day that they missed? And I don't like to get all worried or wild. Like, did you miss a day? And have you not been watching us and it's been like a day? But we do get concerned about people when we don't see them for a while. So we like to make sure that everybody's okay. Lena says, lurkers unite. Don't just lurk, say hi at least once in the broadcast. It helps the algorithm. When you all comment, it helps us get seen more. It shows that people are interested in what we're doing and they're commenting. The more you all comment, generally the higher numbers we have in a live. I don't know if you've noticed that, but when people are really interested in commenting a lot and saying a lot of different things, our numbers jump up. And that's because the algorithms think that people are engaged in this broadcast. We know you're engaged because we know you watch, we know you send us emails for things you want, but the algorithms and the machine learning things don't know that unless you actually say stuff. And then that's how they can know. They may know you're watching, but they may not know you're engaged. And it's a whole different animal. Hello, Harry. Thank you so much. We got a box from Harry recently. So we're going to be showing some Harry stuff soon. I'm excited. I'm going to mix it with some of the stuff we still have around, some of the stuff in the store. And we've got a lot of cute little house looking things from Harry, and they're super cute. I just kind of want to make a whole scene from them. My one grandmother on my dad's side growing up, every Christmas, she had this little, she did ceramics for one thing. So these were from her ceramic collection that she made. And she had this whole little scene of a town. And between her kitchen and her dining room, for the longest time, there was a wall. So you would walk in her front door and you'd pretty much you'd make a right into the living room or a left into the dining room. And so the dining room and then the kitchen was behind the dining room. So there was an archway to go between the two, but there was a wall that had that kind of serving station in between the kitchen and the dining room that some houses had. It wasn't fancy. It was just like an open window that you could pass things between, and it had a ledge there. And so we as kids would sometimes sit on that ledge and eat there, but also that's where the little town got set up for Christmas every year. And we as kids, my cousins and I, would sit there, and you don't know how many hours we spent playing with those little ceramic people and a little ceramic town. There were little houses, and there was a large dish-shaped kind of piece that was like a skating area, and they had a little skating rink, and we would skate the little people through there. It was so much fun. And when I saw the houses that Harry made are geometric shapes. They're just kind of very modern looking and modern representations of a house. But when I opened that package and saw all of those, that's immediately what came to mind. Even though hers were very different, it just kind of sparked that memory. So that was a good memory that was brought back from that. Let's see here. Everyone's saying hi. Doesn't know, but I felt it. It's a force for sure, right? Yeah, we were talking about how you got set up, and you shared your setup in the Design Challenges group, and how much I love seeing people's setups and what they do for their shows. And we saw your jewelry that had lots of beads from AG in it, which was great. I like seeing that too. Hello, Susan. Thank you for joining us. I like Susan when she comes in. She always goes through everybody she possibly can to say hi, and I love that. That's so nice. Let's see. Oops. And my comments just jumped. One moment while I backtrack through where I am. Okay. Susan says, I'm lurking too, still feeling under the weather. Don't know if it's allergies or a bug, but making it an early night. I don't blame you one bit. We will probably be up quite a bit tonight. Andrew has to pack for his trip, and I know it's going to be probably a long night, but I do have to be up and at the store tomorrow. And then I'll be running back home to do the live because he is leaving tomorrow morning. So I am Andrewless for about a week. And then I think he'll be back in between, and then he has to head back down I think he's going back, he's heading down to Sawtooth, I think right after. I think that's the next thing. Penland, then down to Sawtooth. And that was the one I was hoping to go with him to, because it's a friend's birthday party, and think that's the one Norma's taking, right? I was hoping to be able to hang out, so we'll see. There's only one day in between, and then he has to drive over to Memphis. So I don't know what's going to happen. If we could take 2 cars, that's a lot of driving, and I don't know if we want to do that. We were talking about I could possibly fly back. We checked plane tickets, and it's not too bad for me to actually fly back out of Memphis to help him drive over to Memphis, and then he can drop me off at the airport, and I can fly back. It's probably less than it would take in gas to actually fly back. So we might do that. We'll see. We have that week in between to kind of figure out, kind of a week. We have 2 weeks from now actually to figure out what we're doing. So we'll see how that goes, and if I can make up some money here to get a plane ticket and to exist while we're both away. That's always the hard thing too. Yeah, so talking about an early night, I don't think I'm getting an early night, but I hope you do, Susan. Got a little off track there, but I hope you do, and I hope you feel better. And I hope it's just allergies, really. Maybe, right? Sometimes if it's a bug, at least we know what it is and it goes away. If it's allergies, who knows how long it's going to be. So maybe, I don't know. Whatever it is, I hope it's mild and it goes away soon for you. How about that? Anna says, I feel that, Susan. I felt sick the last couple of days. Don't get sick, everyone. Although I know there is that thing with the kind of the springtime allergies or springtime sick, right? That happens. Sorry, I have a thing on my wrist, or not my wrist, my elbow. You can see I'm getting this tennis elbow for some reason, and this is just starting to, when I bend my arm, it's starting to block the blood. It's no good. But I hope you all feel better. I feel pretty good, except I just feel like I'm never getting enough oxygen lately because my allergies are so bad. Amanda has to go now too. Hope to come back later if I can. Well, hopefully you can, Amanda. Please try if you get a chance. Susan says, for me, the mid-50s to around 80s is spring weather. Yeah, 80 is so high for spring weather, I think, but it is. I mean, that is spring weather around here nowadays, but in my mind, it should be like 74. 76 is the max that spring should be, and mid-50s, yes, it should go down to mid-50s. Donna says, we have 3 large privet bushes that are blooming, and you talk about a stinky smell, especially 6 a.m. Plus the tree pollen has been awful. I don't know what those smell like, but I'll take your word for it. Norma says, I have had to turn the house AC on during the last week, and I'm not sure I've ever had to do that in April before. Yeah, I am not sure what that means for summer. I'm a little bit afraid because we had a more harsh winter than normal this year, and if we have a more harsh summer than normal, I've been doing okay in the summers. It's gotten to the point where I don't hate summer. But this summer, who knows? If this is the start of things, I don't know. Kimberly says, yep, that's me, and I am diagnosed ADHD. With the time, what do they call it, time dilation or something? With the times, yeah, time skipping. If I don't write notes to myself to remind myself to do things and turn on reminders, and I used to be better about that, and things have gotten so busy that I've kind of lost track of that whole programming that I used to do, and it's me. Vicky says, hi everyone. William, will we hear from the kitties tonight? I don't think so. I'm in the office. We try to keep them out of here, to keep the hair down in here as much as possible. I have hair. I keep wiping my face because I was kissing the cats, Tallulah especially, before I started the live, and she has long hair. I was combing her out a little bit, and I was kissing on her, and I still can feel the hair stuck to my face. But we do try and keep them out of here because there's just too much for them to steal and go through, and it's too much. It's too much. So probably not, because Andrew's busy. He's working on, I think, some more paintings maybe, before, and then he has to clean up and go up to the cottage. So I don't think we'll see Andrew tonight. So I don't think he'll be bringing any in. That's where I'm getting to. Susan says, Norma, same here. We got to almost 90 in mid-March. The air is on. We live in a dark brick house. It doesn't cool down at night. I don't want the windows open because it lets pollen in. Yeah, we have the windows open, and that is a thing. See, I love spring because spring is supposed to be when you open your windows and air out the house, and it's the first time you have the windows open in a while before it gets too hot to have the windows open. And this spring is starting to feel like I'm gonna have to close the windows and put the air conditioners in the windows, because we have the window air conditioners, and the moment you put those in the windows, you don't open the windows anymore, right? Because they're in the window. And so I like the fresh air as much as possible before we have to turn on the air conditioners. Sue says, I also don't want to chase cats either. Right. Donna says, it's such an awesome memory. It is, really. Suzanne is here. Hello, Suzanne. Glad you could join us. Danette is here. Hello, Danette. Julie is here. Hello, Julie. So I'm just getting to people. I've been talking and slowly going through the comments, apparently. Harry says, I fired the kiln today with 5 more little houses and some pendants and a new speckled clay. Ooh, new clay. That's fun. That means different things, different looks, different glaze looks. I like that. Norma says, my house faces west with no trees, so really heats up because it's built in the 50s and isn't well insulated. I added attic insulation, but it doesn't seem to be helping much. Yeah, that's a thing. Our little house growing up was tiny and not well insulated, so it got very hot in the summer and cold in the winter. And we didn't have air conditioning growing up. They didn't have the windows in our cottage growing up weren't windows that you could fit air conditioners in. They either didn't open or they slid the wrong way or they were too big. We had one really big window that the sides only opened. And so when you opened them, you couldn't lift them up to put an air conditioner in. They slid sideways. So if you put an air conditioner in, you had the whole thing open. And I guess we could have tried to build something to cover that, but it was not easy. So when we were growing up, we didn't have air conditioning at all for a very long time. And then finally, I think, I don't know who bought it for us, either my grandparents or my aunt bought us a portable air conditioner at one point that we could put in sideways, and it was like it rolled around. We still have some of those now, but they used to be way too expensive, and they finally came down in price enough that somebody bought us one, and we finally had a little bit of air conditioning in our house. But for a long time, we just had fans. That was it. And I don't know how we survived. And it got to the point, like growing up, I didn't really mind the heat so much. It was hard, but air conditioning used to bother me a lot. I used to get sick if I was in air conditioning for too long of a period. But then I adapted. But I think it was because we never had it growing up. Hey, there's Marianne. I was wondering if you were here. Donna says safe travels to Andrew. Thank you. Suzanne Cinnamon just hit my phone, so she says hi too. Hello, Cinnamon. Let's see here. And this is, I was reading on Tuesday and Wednesday. Nice. Reading is good. Danette says, Norma, my house is like that too. Right? I think we all have, a lot of us have the older houses, right? And it says, woohoo, a box from Harry is a fun box. It is. It is. See, I'm very far behind. Norma says, William, I hope you can go to Sawtooth. See, I love when I have so many comments I get behind. That's what I like. that keeps things interesting and keeps the algorithms, and our numbers have jumped. We're at 19 people now watching. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Marion says it's a delightful 64 here. That's perfect. That's perfect. Right now, here it is 72. That's what it should be for the high. And right now, that's what it is for almost evening here. But the high tomorrow is going to be 71. So it's going to be cooler tomorrow. So I'm excited for that. Susan said 80s happen here in the spring. Our weather is very weird. Harry says we are having warm 70 with thunder and lightning storms coming after 10. I like thunder and lightning when they're not dangerous, right? I like thunderstorms. I used to really like them, and now with my anxiety, sometimes they cause me a little bit of anxiety. But I still like them. I still like them. Donna says same, because if it's like this now, I can't imagine what August is going to be like. I know, right? There's Andrew. Says I'm watching while I'm finishing up some paintings. Nice. Lena says hi back to everyone. I was making dessert and stuffing my face. What'd you have for dessert? What'd you have for food? And then dessert. Julie says it's cute that you think it's hot there. I know, right? 80 is hot. 81, that's hot for spring. Sorry, I'm not gonna take that back. I still think 81 is hot for spring. I know it's nothing like what y'all get, but still. Susan said the hubs also has asthma, so the AC helps with that issue. Yeah, that's important. When I was growing up, I thought I had asthma at one point. I think it was just severe allergies. I actually used an inhaler there to open passages with it, and it was the AC, once that does help a lot because it filters a lot of that stuff out. Andrew said we had some hiccups getting ready for the trip. I was going to take Appa, but it needs new tires before inspection. I'm going to take the van instead. William was going to use the van while I'm gone, but we're going to have to put that off. We're going to put boards in the back on the bookcases. He was going to do that. Oh yeah, we have bookcases that he set up. I was going to try to do while he was away. Probably not going to be able to be buying boards, not in the little car, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Here he says, the farmhouse I grew up in had no furnace, just an oil stove in the living room, ice on the windows of the bedroom in winter, and windows open all spring to fall. Yeah, that's like our little cottage. We had one furnace. I've told this before. We had one furnace in the house, but it was never to be used. It was propane, and the propane was insanely expensive. I mean, for our family, it was not something that we could fill up the tank very often. And so that heater, which was in the center of the house, and it did not heat. It would not have ever heated that whole house. The house was small, but that was like just a little thing we turned it on every once in a while, getting ready for school and stuff, and we'd stand like right in front of it as it turned on, and we'd get ready and get dressed. It was mainly to get dressed in front of, but it was like right in the living room / dining room where they kind of were. They were all one. It was all one room. It was just one room, and my parents put in some linoleum to separate the dining room a little bit, but it was really just one room, and so it was right in the middle of that room. And it would not have heated like the bedrooms, which were right there too. They were just off there was like no hallway or anything. The bedrooms were just right off of the dining room and living room, and the bathroom was right off the living room. But we just had that, and we had to bring in. My parents built a fireplace though, so when they moved into the house, they built the fireplace, and they had some of their friends help them build the fireplace that were supposed to know what they were doing. The fireplace lasted a good while, but then the chimney started pulling away from the wall. It wasn't done completely right, or ground change. They sunk. It was whatever. It wasn't done to where it held up. And so at one point we had to stop using the fireplace, and then we brought in kerosene heaters, and we would heat with just kerosene all winter, um, which, may not in the end have been, I mean, I don't know if that's actually cheaper than buying the propane, but you had to buy the propane in one big tank full. Y'all who deal with that know what that's like. Whereas with the kerosene, we could go to the local, you know, um, gas stations and get kerosene in 5-gallon jugs, um, a little bit at a time. So it's kind of like, when you don't have a lot of money, the subscription plan helps, and that was the fuel subscription plan, was to buy the kerosene every once in a while, and so that's how we did it. But yeah, it could get quite cold, um, but we made do, and it was good. We had a good bringing up. Marianne was also reading. Hello, Angela. Thank you for joining us. Lennis had a chef's salad with a bagel and cream cheese, and then angel food cake with strawberries and yogurt. That sounds delicious. I've not had angel food cake in a long time. Marianne likes thunderstorms as well, and less severe. Yeah. Donna says it's 78 degrees right now. Yeah. That's a little bit warmer than we are. A little bit. That was like our high for the day. Well, a little bit over that. Sue says our home is old. We do have a regular furnace, but we also have a coal bin in the basement. The opening where the coal was put in is bricked up. Yeah, that's a lot of houses around here. You'll see, like, there's a house just down the street from, I think, maybe the same block, at the very end of this block or the next one over, I can't remember, where they had an outdoor coal chute that they'd throw the coal in and it would go down into the basement. There's a lot of those kind of around. But yeah, I didn't grow up in a house that had like a furnace. My grandparents' house, they had, they didn't, my grandparents on my dad's side, they had a furnace in their house, and it had a giant oil tank, and the tank was inside. I don't know how that, I feel like the tank, like maybe, no, I'm pretty sure the tank was in the basement, because there was this big tank and there were shelves all around it. And I don't know how that was a thing, but the tank was on the inside of the house. It was some kind of oil or gas. I don't know what it was. But they had a furnace. But my other grandparents, they had their house. They built their house the year I was born, and they had wood stoves and fireplaces that heated that house. And then they had electric heat, but they never turned on, hardly ever, the electric heaters. Sometimes in our bedroom we would turn them on when we stayed over, but those are expensive. They were the baseboard, just electric heaters, and they were expensive. So they would heat the house with wood, and luckily they lived with lots of woods around them, so they cut their own wood. And they always had that free gas, except that it was a lot of work to get that free gas. But they were able to heat the house like that. And my grandfather kept the house warm in the winter. Like, we'd go up for Christmas and stuff and have sweaters on. And by the time you were done, or getting, by the time you were halfway through your meal, you were like, you knew to wear layers because you'd be in t-shirts. But he kept the house nice and warm, and it was always comfortable, and always a good feeling there. Let's see here. Marianne's ready to join for supper. Angel food cake sounds divine, says Susan. Let's see. Marianne says you can join, or Lena says you can join Marianne, but are you coming virtually or coming to Virginia? Go visit, right? Make a trip, make a road trip. Donna says, if I opened my windows, everything, and I mean everything, would be yellow. Yeah, it's I feel like we have our windows open, and I don't notice it being, I don't actually have this window. I thought I did. I just looked. Nope, window's not open. And probably closed it earlier subconsciously because of the noise. But yeah, I don't notice the pollen inside. I didn't even notice it on the outside, except when Andrew pointed out that the sun was hitting the car and it was yellow. The blue car was yellow. But I drove around in it all day and didn't even notice it. So there's how much I take notice of things. Marion says, I wish, Lennis, I watch a YouTuber who does tours of Virginia places. I would love to visit. Lennis says, be aware restaurant tax here is high. Oh boy. Marion's not planning to visit the US currently. Don't blame you. Not one bit. Not one bit. Yeah, so that's what's going on here. Let me flip the camera around and we'll take a look at some of this artwork that that Andrew has produced. All right, let's flip it around. Da, da, da. All right, there we are. And I took my piece of driftwood downstairs, and I think I left it down there. Oh well, we'll do without it for now. So these are the pieces that Andrew, we've shown these before, but they're still available. They're still available. Now these, again, we have not released in the online store. These are only available on Andrew's Facebook timeline, which if you're not on Facebook, I'm sorry. But we'll give you, if you see something here that you like, then you can feel free to take a screenshot or let us know, and we will, you can purchase them this way. Otherwise, you can claim them on his timeline. Oh, let me also, I think I definitely forgot to switch. You can't see it, but it's mirrored on my side. All right. So these are the paintings that we have shown, but maybe you missed. And if you like any of these are $75. Which is only, I should say they're only $75 because this is a really good deal on these. There's a lot of work that goes into each one of these. And because these are the ones that we've shown before, I won't take too much time on each one. But these are available on Andrew's timeline. And I believe he will be adding the other ones to his timeline. He can tell me if that's the way we're doing this. I assume so. And we'll invoice you from the store for them. So these are, he really didn't name this series yet. Andrew says they're up now. Okay, so they are on his timeline now. If you go to Facebook and go to Andrew Thornton and go to his timeline, you can find him there. His little, he's actually, if you're seeing him in the chats here, you can click on his name. And they are available there. I know they're not as easy to get maybe for everybody there, but that's where we're starting them out. And they will ultimately probably move over to the online store. Let me just flip over here. Yeah, so the new ones are up first thing on his timeline right now. The other ones, you can look in his photos for. I don't think he linked the other post. We'll try and do that and make it easier to find these ones if you want on there as well. But if you do see one of these that you like I said, you can take a screenshot of it here and just send us an email to info@allegorygallery.com, and that'll make it easy for me to invoice you for those if you'd like. Let me get to my email here today. There we go. Let me move this over here, get my computer set up going a little bit. Get things situated. There we go. Get back to Instagram. Let's see here. Anders is trying to make gas money for tomorrow. And yeah, like I said, the sale of one painting will almost fill up the van. It doesn't quite get us there. So any help, if you see a painting you like, that'll help him directly get and going tomorrow. Andrew says when they go to the online store, they'll go up to $125 a painting. They are on this introductory $75 price. And so being on his timeline, they're a little bit less expensive, or you can claim them through here, get them before they go to the online store, because they will be $125. That's the real retail price on these, which is a more realistic price point for the amount of work involved for all of these. So I love this one. This is one of my favorites. It's got all those mushrooms, kind of realistic. I think he modeled it after all of them after real mushrooms. Instead of, sometimes when he does the mushrooms, they're just an imaginary, mushroom looking fungi, but those are modeled after real mushrooms. And these were some of the last ones that you may not have seen, because I think we've only shown these ones once, these last few here. They were some of the last of that original first part of them to be finished. This is one of the guys letting out some of those shadow play creatures. Ties into the shadow play paintings that came before. Look at that beat. I think he's so cute. So there are those. So those are the ones that you may have seen before already. And then we have some brand new ones. Some brand new ones today. So they're one of the brand new. Let me give you, for the new ones, I was going to say I can give you lot numbers for the new ones, but it's probably easiest if you go to his timeline. If you need a lot number or need something to purchase these, let me know in the comments if there's something you see you want. But it's probably easiest if you go to his timeline, so everything will be there in one place. So this is the first of the new. And there are these wonderful metallic backgrounds and lots and lots and lots of detail on the quote-unquote people, the beings in them. This is that one I keep saying. She's singing her heart out. Love this one. She's going to tell you a story through song, is what that feels like to me. What do you think of all these, everybody? Keep those comments coming. Just because I'm showing stuff doesn't mean you can stop commenting. Keep commenting, everybody. Like I said, it tells the algorithm that people are engaged with what we do. It really does help. It's one of the ways that you can help anybody you're watching online. The more comments they get, the better the algorithm does for them. So if you really want to support a small business that's doing lives and you watch their lives, comment like crazy. A troubadour, right? That's funny. I like that. Norma says, I've been waiting for the girl with the loot. Oh, good, Norma. Thank you. It is over there on his timeline right now. So if you want to grab it, there's $75 instead of $125 right now. Suzanne says, very cool. Thank you. See, people stop commenting. We dropped to 13 people instead of 19 that we had, or 20. Told you it likes comments. Norma says, I claimed it. Oh, good. I didn't see. That's good. I didn't see that you had already. Thank you. Thank you. I just saw. There, it popped up for me. We appreciate that a lot. Oh, I better get back over to Instagram in case anybody. Our Instagram's been very slow as far as people lately. I don't know why. I think Instagram really prefers that we go vertically. And so we've not been doing that lately. Julie says, I love these pieces. Thank you. Let's see here. Marianne says, we will be live all week if you enjoy the show with quick wits. What's that mean? What's that mean? We are live all week, every week. Andrew says, thank you, Norma. I was getting stressed out over the tires. Yeah, we got to get new tires for the car. Definitely got to get new tires for the car. I try to be funny. Oh, I love this. The detail's amazing, says Susan. Thank you. They are. Andrew's been working very hard on these. He has not slept all night. He's going to need to get some sleep tonight because he has to be going in the morning. We'll see if he gets any sleep tonight. He tends to not be able to sleep before a show or before a class. And he has a big drive to make. I love this cat, this little gingy cat. This is one of my favorites. I love this one. I love the expression. I love the colors. Marianne says, ooh, the kitty, right? Andrew says, I made his eyes going in different directions on the moon face one, but I changed it. Oh, this one? That's funny. And then this one. Love, love, love. I love that flower. It's such a pretty color. She's looking deep into your eyes. And then the mermaid. There's always got to be a mermaid or three, right? Generally in all of Andrew's series, there's a mermaid somewhere. Andrew said she's a mandragora, this one. Mandragora. And then this is the last one, at least for now. Andrew's working on more stuff right now. So there's this one. It looks like they're wearing stick coral and beads, and of course beads in the antlers. So there they are. This is the newest of the series. The ones I'm working on, Andrew says, are different. So this is the last of this series. I believe, still unnamed series. Yeah, I don't think he gave them a name yet. So these are on his timeline to claim. They're $75 on his timeline. Once we go through all the effort of putting them into the online store, they go up to $125, which is their retail price, but you get a little extra discount, a little bonus for claiming early if you'd like any of these. And then these ones, the previous ones, are still on his timeline. You might have to do a little searching for them. We'll try and share them again here in a little bit, so that you can find them a little bit easier. But these are available also still at the $75 price. These have not gone into the online store yet. So these are the ones that are still available from the series. Some have already sold previously. Thank you so much if you grabbed one then. We really do appreciate all of your support in any way that you can support us. Small businesses are having a little bit of a hard time right now, as many of you know, and things are not always easy, but we are so grateful to be surrounded by so many people who want us to do well and want us to continue doing what we're doing. Marianne says, I see several. I would like 10, but we'll have to wait a few days. You can claim them now if you want to. I always say that for people who watch our lives often and support us, you can claim things early, and then if you need a little bit of time. But if you see something you like and you want to lock it in, we would like our, the people who support us the most to be able to lock in the things they want. That's why we do these for you all who watch our lives first, generally. So don't worry about that. So yeah, that's that group of those, the new paintings. And then we found 3 of the noble creatures that were never added to the website, just kind of floating around. And so those are now in the online store. They are $48 each. They are drawings, original drawings by Andrew. They are about 2.5 by 3.5 inches, and they're graphite on Bristol board with acrylic. Marion says, but which one to choose? That's the hard part. I will give you that. That's the hard part. I would have a hard time choosing too. So you've got the gazelle here. You've got the red panda. And you've got the platypus. Now, these are part of a series that he did in 2024. And if you go to the website, if you type in noble creatures, you will see a lot of different things in the noble creature kind of category. So these are the original drawings, the noble creature drawing. Let's see here. Andrew said, these are the ones I worked on when I flew down to Florida when my dad was sick. It's a dick, not a gazelle. I looked up a gazelle to see if that's what, and it looked like a gazelle. So it's a dick, actually. I'll have to change that on the website because it's keyed under a gazelle. Or at least it has a tag that says gazelle. So these are available in the online store, and other ones are also still available in the online store. And if you are in Johnstown, we also have these available in store. So you can come up and take a look at the originals in store as well. Anna says, love the kitty. And Donna says, love these. Yeah, these ones are the hand-drawn charcoal on Bristol board with acrylic. And these are, again, original drawings. We did make prints of these. Some of these, I don't know if we made prints of all of them. I can't remember. We also have the prints in Johnstown. And we take those to shows, but we don't offer the prints in the online store. We only offer the originals there. And we made some into pendants. I think the pendants are still available in the online store. Yes, they are. They're available there. And then we had some prints that were, Andrew said, they're much smaller than a gazelle, like the size of a dog. Cute. He made a series called Noble Creatures Redux. And that was kind of a re-release in a different way. We had some prints made, and the prints were a little bit enlarged. And so they weren't the right size. They weren't true to size. And so Andrew cut out those prints that we had made, and he attached them in collage form to other collages that he had done. And so those are called Noble Creature Redux. And they are still his original artwork, but they are not hand drawn. And they are $20 available in the online store. And those are also available in Johnstown to take a look at. And so just know, if you get any of the Noble Creatures on, for example, you buy it in the online store on a Monday, I have to go up to Johnstown the next weekend to get them for you. So, because we store them up there, because we have people looking at them up there. So it just, there's a little bit of a delay sometimes, unless I'm making a trip up there for some reason too. So if you see something you like in the Noble Creature selection, get them like today, get them tomorrow, get them Saturday in the online store, so that I can make sure I bring them home to ship out to you. Andrew says, I started this series when William was first diagnosed with his heart condition. I was able to work on them while in the waiting rooms. And Gazelle and Dick Dick two are both antelope, says Marianne. See, there you go. So there are those available. And those are now in the online store. And as I said, those are $48 for the original drawings, which is, I think, a wonderfully good price for a drawing that detailed on those. So there you go. Those are now available. And we have one other piece that's never been shown before, is this one, this collage. And this is on wood. And Andrew just released this one today. This is not available on his timeline. So if you want this one, you can let us know. This one is $40, $40. It's a griffin done with Andrew's collage technique and his multiple layering techniques, then cut out and affixed to this wooden canvas. And there's one of these available. This is an original piece, and it is $40. And so if you want that, you can let us know in an email. Send us a screenshot, or right now it's the only wooden canvas piece. So if you just say wooden canvas piece, I will know what you're talking about on that. And that's $40. 40. Andrew says, I started this during the Storyteller collection, but it was too big, so it was floating around for months before I finally glued it up. So boy, during the Storyteller, that was quite a while ago. Panel boards, he's calling it panel boards. So there you go. All right, so that is that for the artwork. Let me just set this here for a second while I get myself together. Take a drink, losing my voice. Okay, now let me find out what number I'm going to use tonight for our lot numbers, and we'll get started with the bead show. Susie says the Griffin is the mascot at Seton Hill University. Well, there you go. Anybody a Seton Hill alum that might want that? Let's see if I used. Yes, I did just use that. Did I use this? Yes, boy. There's one. Okay. HY will be the lots tonight. HY. Okay. Let's get started with the main show, the bead show tonight. We've got various things tonight, lots of good things for y'all. Let's start out with some individual. Oh, Marianne's going to say good night now. Good night, Marianne. Thank you for joining us. Susie says, me, do you really want it? I don't know if you're just joking or playing or not, but if you really want it, let us know. These are 2 pieces of turquoise. They are $20 each, 2 of them available. If you'd like to purchase anything from this video today, take down the lot number. That's the HY number, HY1. Put that in the subject line of an email. Send that email to info@allegorygallery.com. They are first come, first serve. And if you do send us an email, you are promising to take it if you get it. And please send a new email each time. Please do not reply to an old email to send a new one. All right, HY1 are these 2 pieces of turquoise. Very different. If you'd like to choose the one you want, you can. Let me know in the comments of your email. But beautiful old pieces of nice chunky turquoise. And they are $20 each. This is from Andrew's private collection. We've only got 2 of them left. We started out with a number of them, but we are down to 2 of them left. That's it. Once they are gone, they're gone. Old turquoise HY1. Let me give you some sizing. Where's my ruler? What's going on here today? There we go. So this one is approximately 28.8, so about 29 by 32. And this one is approximately 47 by 27 and a half. Now, as you can see, this one has a nice flat back. So if you use it as a pendant, it would sit flat pretty easily, even though it's bulbous on the front. But you could also use it as a cab because it is very flat. All right, Susie says she left an email. Thank you so much. Let me check my email. My email's slow today. It's been slow the last few days. I've been noticing that. So sorry if I've not been saying what people have been claiming in some cases, but if you ever want to check a claim, if you're doing a rewatch, please just send us an email and we'll check in on it. For some reason, the email has been lagging quite a bit lately, and it's still having an issue checking for email. So HY1, 2 of them available, $20 each. Things in here. We have some beautiful things that we got from our friend Bob Burkett. Well, they're made. They were designed by Bob Burkett. They are now cast by someone else who he trusts to cast his items, and we have a number of these things, and we're going to show them to you tonight. It's funny, Susie, I didn't get your email yet. So there was no email. I don't know what's going on. I'm telling you, some days. All right. This is, I have to check with these. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the pewter. So these are designed by Bob Burkett. Suzanne says, I love my Bob Burkett pieces. Yeah, he's a master metalsmith. Makes beautiful things, and these are, like I said, these are casts of his items. There are 4 of these available, and they are $5 each. And this is a skull. This is cast in pewter. And this is from the company that he trusts to do his casting for him nowadays. He has a lot of health issues, including sight and heart issues. So he does not really create, but at least the last we had heard, but he does have this company that casts for him. These are 22 millimeters by about 14 and a half. And his originals go for generally a lot of money nowadays. We had a few on the show a while ago that we offered at pretty good prices, but it's been a while since we've had much. So this is HY2, and there are 4 of them available. 3 of them available now. Thank you so much. All right. HY3. Get to my grouping of these because I wanted to go through these with you all kind of first. And these ones, let me pull one up for you. These are these fish, these 2 fish, and these ones are bronze. These are cast in bronze, and they are $12 each only, and we've got 6 of these available. And I don't know if you can see, there's 1 fish, 2 fish. They kind of hug on each other a little bit. Their tails come through here and here. There's one of their faces and the other face there. They kind of swirl around with each other on these beads. And they are cast in bronze, HY3, and they're only $12. That's a really good price for bronze casting. Only $12. And so here we have, so if you know any people who are Pisces like me, there's a great inexpensive bead or pendant for a gift. And size-wise on these are approximately at their widest 15 and a half by about 17. HY3, $12, 6 of them available. Bronze cast, designed by Bob Briquette. HY4. And these ones, these are the tinies. These are bronze as well. And let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 of these little ones, and they are only $5 each. These are insanely good prices. This is the Bob Briquette small skull. They have very large holes too, which is really nice if you want to use them with leather and things. That's about a 2.5 millimeter hole, at least, closer to 3. I was going to say that's more like a 3 millimeter hole. And designed by Bob Briquette, cast in bronze by his caster. HY4, $5 each only. Lots and lots of detail. We used to see Bob at the shows, and he would sit at the booth and just carve these wax castings the entire time when he wasn't selling. When he wasn't selling, he would be carving these wax castings and or carving these red waxes. And it was just amazing to watch this master carver carving out all these different creatures, and sometimes they were real and they'd look like just like the animal he was trying to carve. Sometimes they would be these fantastical creatures, and then very oftentimes after all that work, you're like, oh, he's going to take these home and cast them. A lot of times they weren't good enough, so he would just destroy them at the end of the show, melt them all down, compress them all down. I hate to think how many things could have come out of his workshop if he'd have kept all of those, but that's the way of things. He wanted them to be a certain way, and he was the artist, right? Or is the artist. He's entitled to having them done the way he wants them done. But I would look at them and I'd be like amazed at the detail and the incredible technique. And he was just like, nope, they're not good enough. And I guess, he felt hurried doing them during a show. So that's the way it was. It's kind of amazing. We've just sold the large turquoise piece. Thank you so much. The HY2s, we've sold 3 of the 4 of those. So there's one of the larger skulls left. HY3, we've sold 1 of those. Those are the 2 fish. So there's 5 of those left. Thank you so much. And the HY4, we've sold 2 of those small bronze skulls so far. There are 3 of those left. Thank you so much for grabbing them. For those of you who are, we really do appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. No matter what, we appreciate that you are here watching with us. These are really good prices, by the way, for all of these things. When you look at other, even pewter pieces that are the equivalent size and talent to these, you're seeing them for a lot more money, like this button, this goldfish button, cast in pewter, designed by Bob. Gorgeous work, $5. $5 only. It makes you like, is there something wrong with these? No, we just got a very good deal. So you get a good deal too. And these are gorgeous buttons, cast in pewter, designed by Bob. And this button is approximately 23 millimeters by 20 and a half. This way, widthwise, it's about 8.8. There are 4 of these only available. HY5. $5. Fine pewter. By the way, no lead, no nickel, no cadmium, copper, silver, tin. No lead. HY6. We've just sold 2 of the HY5s. Thank you so much. I think my email is definitely delayed today. Thank you so much, everybody. Now this one, let's see what we've got here. These, I want to say, is this... What's the price on these? Let's see what these look like. All right, these are bronze. It's just making sure they're very, very deep bronze. I was making sure they weren't shibuichi. Sometimes we get stuff in shibuichi. But but this was not a Shibuichi price, so that's why I was like, okay, these must be bronze, but they're very dark. HY6. These are the tiny skulls in this antiqued bronze, not the bright bronze. And there are 2 of these available at $5 each only. Nice big holes again if you're putting them on things other than beading wire. They work really well for that on leather. Put them on a leather, like a little leather and a little tassel. Really cool at the end of a bracelet. Put them on some, and make some leather earrings. So there are 2 of those available. These are approximately about 12 millimeters by 6.3 by 7.6, 7.7. HY6. 2 of those available. Both of those have sold. Thank you so much. Sold. We appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see here. HY7. Let me see. This one. Yeah, this one's HY7, $18. This is a Bob designed tube bead. This is the goldfish tube bead, or koi fish, I guess koi. Koi fish tube bead by Bob in bronze, cast in bronze. Beautiful piece. This one is widthwise, let's see here, about 10.5, lengthwise about 40.3. Norma's got to go. Have a good night, Norma. Thank you for joining us. And if you want that in inches, this is about 1.5 inches by just about 1/2 inch at the widest, where the tails kind of come out from the tube. HY7, 1 of them available, $18. Cast in bronze. Great prices for bronze. I will say that. That's amazing prices. I doubt those prices are going to be the prices for long if we have everything go on that is going on these days, with prices, imports of metals going up. So this is a good time to get in on things like this, I think. Okay, this is also bronze. And this is a dragonfly pendant, cast in bronze, and this is only $20 for a very large piece. I mean, it's not super large, but, you know, larger than what $20 in bronze feels like it would be. And this is the dragonfly pendant, cast in bronze. In inches, this is about 1 1/8 inches by 1.5 inches. So that is about, well, about 28.8, so about 29 millimeters by about 38 millimeters. HY8, $20. You can actually see his name in there. I think it says 2015 he designed this, looks like. 2015, 2014, or 2019. Can't tell. But Signature's still in that one, in the cast. HY8. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. HY9. Now these are super fun. Let me see what I've got. How many of these I've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 of these. These are $12 only. $12 a pair. These are earrings. They're seahorse earrings. They are in multiple bags. So let me get, they're each in their own separate bag here. So cast bronze, seahorse earrings, super, super cute. Very detailed. Only $12 a pair. These are the kind of things that are great for a gift. If you want to give your favorite ocean lover or sea lover a gift, $12 for a pair of earrings is a great deal. This is also something that these are bronze, so if you took these to a show, you could just double the price and sell them. And somebody at a show is not going to think twice about buying these for $24. Very nice quality, very well detailed. HY9, and these I'm just going to measure with the bail. The seahorse itself is 18.2 by about 7.7. HY9, there are 5 pairs available. They're only $12 a pair. And they are on silver ear wires. At least silver plated. I don't know that they're sterling. They're at least silver plated ear wires. HY9. And back in their little bags. Oops. They pack things the way I do so they don't scratch too much against each other. Bag inside of a bag inside of a bag. That's good though. HY9. $12. 5 pairs available. HY10. And this is, let me check price on this. Is that right? That is right. $8.50 only. And one of them available. HY10 is this beautiful little tube bead with the dragonflies. Dragonfly tube bead in bronze. If you knew Bob or saw his stuff before, dragonflies were kind of a big thing for him. He had a lot of dragonflies that he produced. And so it's kind of a signature thing that he had. This is a very large hole, so let me get you sizes on this. This tube is approximately, let me see, it goes to about 9 millimeter, we'll say 9 by 15.5 by about almost 5 millimeters, 4.5 millimeters at least for the hole. And that's only $8.50, HY10. One of those available, cast in bronze. Bob Burkett designed, cast by his chosen caster for him, HY10. All right. And that's what we have from Bob, I believe. So we'll see if anything else is buried in here, but I think I found all of this stuff. Nope, I'm wrong. I found more. I thought I was missing something, and I was like, maybe I was dreaming it. Okay, these are definitely worth it. HY11. Geez, I forgot some of my favorite ones. You know, I love a bug, and this cicada tube bead. Like, look at that large hole. Let me get you. These are bronze. This is bronze, I should say. There's one of them available, $15. The bronze cicada tube bead, very large hole tube. And this is 12.2 millimeters by 27.5 approximately. The hole in this is about 6 millimeters. Anna says, bless you. Those comments are coming in very far away. Thank you, Anna. So yeah, I'm delayed somewhere along the line because I sneezed a while back as far as when that comment came in. Things are lagging, I think, today in some cases. HY11, $15 for the cicada in bronze. This is not a polished bronze. You can see, look at that. Look at, when you really look at it close, it's a beautiful, beautiful coloring, this antiqued bronze. One of those available, HY11, $15. And HY12. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 of these. 6 of these. They're $12 each. These are the polished bronze bees. Polished bronze bees. So, like, he even carved, like, look at the bee's wings. They've even got the veining. He's carved that in. And it's like these bees are carrying things. They're a little bit underweight. I love these so much. And this is a polished bronze. HY12, $12 each. 6 of them available. They've got the nice large holes. Let me give you dimensions on these. So from antenna to tail, about 13 millimeters. Wing to wing, about 21, we'll say. And then the hole, it's a little bit collapsed because it's a little bit, you can see it's oval shaped, but it's around 3 millimeters. Around 3 millimeter hole. We've sold one of these so far. Thank you so much. HY12. Polished bronze bees by Bob Burkett. Cast by his chosen caster. $12 each. 6 of them, well, 5 of them now available. I love these. I think I might keep one for myself. Here they are. If they don't all sell, we'll see. But I might use one of those. I have some people coming in for a class on Sunday, and they want to make a specific kind of necklace. And I think if I make along with them, that might be a good little thing to add on. Maybe, we'll see. They're going to be knotted necklaces, I think. So I have to practice my knotting this weekend. HY13. All right. Next up, we've got some vintage German glass. Vintage German glass from our friend. Susan moved upstairs. I'll have to watch the missed lots on replay. Thank you for rewatching when you do. We appreciate that. Vintage German glass. These are glass flowers. These are from our friend Ava. Nice, gorgeous quality vintage German glass. HY13, $10. We use the same prices as her. We don't want to try to undercut anybody, not our friends. We don't do that. So we use her prices on all of these. And these little flowers are about 10.3 by about 6 millimeters. 10.3 by 6 millimeters. One strand available. HY13. $10. These were some that Andrew picked out to do some things with. HY14. We have a series of leaves and flowers that he picked out, so that's what I've got. I think he parted with one of each here to sell. HY14. These beautiful vintage German glass flowers, this time in the blue and red. These little daisy-like flowers. Vintage German glass. These are about 8.5 millimeters by 5.5 millimeters. HY14, one strand available, $6. The strand is about a 6-inch strand. $1 an inch, not bad. Not bad at all. HY15 coming up. Oh, he parted with 2 of these. I don't know if he meant to do that. HY15. This vintage German glass in this opalescent white. These are leaf beads. Vintage German glass, 20 beads on the strand, $6 for the strand only in the opalescent white. And these are approximately 11.5 millimeters by about 7.5, we'll say. 2 strands available this time, $6 each. HY15. Vintage German glass from our friend Ava Motherwell. Let's see, HY16. Oh, I found this really nice strand. Really beautiful strand of aquamarine that I found, just laying around. 16-inch strand. This was 36. I'm going to drop it down to, let's go wild. $28. 28. Let's bring it down below 30. See if anybody if it's anybody's for the taking tonight. But they're these kind of rounded cylinders, not quite, I wouldn't call them quite a Heshi, but different shapes, different sizes of it, which I think is really cool. And it's a beautiful vintage aquamarine strand in these different size, I should say different lengths, because they are all about 5.5 millimeters, 5 to 5.5. But super cool strand. Aquamarine, nice quality. HY16, $28 for the strand only. One strand available. If you'd like to claim anything tonight, take down the lot number, put it in the subject line of an email, send that email to us at info@allegorygallery.com. 16-inch strand. One available. HY16. And HY16 just sold. Thank you so much. I had a feeling that one would go, especially at that price. That was a really, that's kind of shoot myself in the foot price, but hey. You know, we're making Anderson gas money tonight is what we're doing. That's what we're trying to do anyway. What do y'all like? What do y'all want? I've got some... How about this one? This is a fun one. This is $5. I've got one of them left. Melinda says, "Oh my, just got here." Hello, Melinda. Thank you for joining us. Glad to have you here. You missed some really nice metal beads by Bob Burkett earlier, so make sure you catch a replay. They're designed by Bob, but he can't make things anymore, so he has a trusted caster that we get things from, and they're really cool. So this is obsidian, and it's been sandblasted in a way, and some parts have not been sandblasted. It's just a really cool stone. We had a whole strand of these. We only have one of these left. I'm doing it at $5 for the stone. This is a really cool kind of pendant if you want to make it into a pendant. I think it would be really cool in a bracelet too if you wanted it as kind of the focal of a bracelet. But there's only one left. HY17, $5. HY17. Oh, let me give you the size on this too. This is 20.5 by 35, we'll say. 35. Let's see, we just sold, let's see, HY12. Is there another one of those available? Yes, we just sold another one of the Bs, HY12. Thank you so much. We just sold HY17, this little pendant here. Thank you so much. Angela says, cool stone. They are. That's a really cool stone. HY18. I loved that strand so much. We tried to sell it as a strand, but it was an expensive strand, so we broke it up for y'all. And we have sold it off in pieces and parts as time has gone on. All right. This is some really juicy apatite, and because this was another one that was $36 strand. I can't quite go. I'm gonna do 32. You know what? I'll do 30. I'll do 30 on this strand, but it is, wait till you see it. Beautiful chunks of vintage apatite. Look how beautiful. They are gorgeous in color. This color is stunning. Just, I hope you can see that. Look how deep and rich those are. Melinda says, I wear obsidian. It's a must. Nice. Nice. But look at this color, everybody. And this is should be a 16. That's a 16-inch strand. Vintage Apatite. $30 for the strand. HY 18. Really pretty, gorgeous nuggets of high quality. Beautiful color, not dyed. Gorgeous Apatite. Melinda says, that is stunning. You're killing me. I know it's stunning, right? It's stunning. And I found it. I don't even know where this was hiding, to be honest. Sometimes, do you ever in your stash, things just kind of surface sometimes, and you're like, I don't know where that ever was or where that surfaced from, but you're looking around and all of a sudden something grabs your eye. This was that something today. I was like, where in the world were you hiding? So if anybody wants it, $30. That's as best I can do. Normally I would charge at least $36 for that. Probably more, but right now we'll do $30 on that if somebody would like it. HY 18. It's still showing available for me, but my email is having issues today, so we'll see if anybody's gotten that yet. Susan says that stash thing happens to me all the time, right? It's like, where did this come from? I don't even remember this. It doesn't help that I'm not the only one that sees the buying, and it doesn't also help that I forget everything. HY 18, that one has just sold. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, what's next? Well. Let's see here. This one is beautiful amethyst saucers. And I think we've had one strand of these before. I don't remember what we priced it in the live. You know, things differ because we price a lot of things here on the fly for y'all based on just what we know about what they were. I'm going to say, let's just do $14 on this one. I think that's fair. $14. Oh, what was HY 13? HY 13. Those red flowers have just sold. Thank you so much. Melinda says we may or may not need to build onto the house. That's funny. Andrew says, I'm still finding stuff Ren put away. I know, Ren was so good at their job. And they put stuff so well organized that we have not found it yet. You can tell we're not super organized people all the time. So when things are organized and actually put away right, it takes us a while to find them sometimes. Suzanne says with a tassel, right? That's kind of a tassel, right? But yeah, these are really pretty. Amethyst, kind of a lavender amethyst, simple saucer, we'll call them. They're not quite a saucer. They're a simple cut kind of saucer. Anna says it's like finding treasures. It is, right? Melinda says that's why I don't organize. I 100% agree, but sometimes we have to. HY 19, $14 only for these little saucers. I think that's a good and fair, probably a really fair price. They're really nice quality. 5.5 millimeters. They're not, I will say that the quality of the stones is pretty nice. The translucency, the stones themselves, the color is really good. The cut of the stones is all a little wonky, which only makes it more desirable to me because I like that. If you're looking for perfection in the cut, these are definitely not it. But that's also, they're only $14. So HY 19. One strand available if anybody's interested. I love those. Nice amethyst. Let's see here. HY 20. What do I have next in my little bag of goodies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 of these. Melinda says, I love the pebble cut, right? I love that kind of, give me something that's a little odd. I get tired of the same old cuts, right? There's a place for rounds and all that, of course, but there's definitely, in my mind, I love the odder kind of cuts. Chrysoprase nuggety goodnesses. These are $4.50 each. I should put that on here. Each. You're like a magician pulling things out of your bag, says Anna. I know, right? I think I got some good stuff this time. What do you think? I think so. Chrysoprase nuggets. They're drilled mostly in the middles. So center drilled. I'm trying to find so you can see. There's that one. That one goes that way. That one goes that way. These are just nice little, very high quality nuggets. Gorgeous chrysoprase, says Anna. Melinda says, I have fluorite bracelet, nothing but smooth stones like that. I've got some nice fluorite tonight too. I'm going to show that to you. It's pretty chunky and big, but it's a nice, beautiful green fluorite, nice quality stones. These are $4.50 each for anybody who likes buying by the stone. Really nice quality. They came from a high-end strand, and we cut it apart so that more people could afford them. Makes it easier, and you don't always want a whole strand of something, right? So these are HY20, $4.50 each. 6 of them available. I love the color in these. These are got that. That's that kind of minty chocolate I like. But jelly minty look. HY20, $4.50 each. 6 of them available. HY21. Want to see the fluorite? Let's see. Where's it? I hope I brought the fluorite. Did I bring the fluorite? Yes, I did. I brought the fluorite. Okay. I'm going to give you a really good price on this fluorite, and I'm going to make it $24 for the strand. And that's a super good deal. Look at this fluorite. Big nuggety chunks. There's a little bit of purple through there. The big nuggety chunks of the green fluorite. $24 for the whole strand. And they're 16. It's a 16-inch. This is a vintage strand. Susan says, do you ever have bad stuff? Anna says, no, never bad stuff. We try not to have the bad stuff. Don't do the bad stuff, right? So these are approximately 13.5 millimeters by 18.5. Nice big chunks. HY21, $24 for the strand. One of those available. Isn't it gorgeous? Stunning, stunning, stunning strand. Let me just show you. I'm just going to show you one more time. I'm just going to show you one more time. Vintage quality, green, mostly green. There's a little hint of purple here and there. Mostly green fluorite. HY21. Big jawbreaker beads, says Anna. I know, right? But you figure, you take each one of these could be its own little, I always say this, right, with these bigger beads though, but it's true. Each one could be its own pendant on a chain. If you just put that as a pendant on a chain, it's a beautiful, just imagine it by itself. It's a beautiful pendant on a chain. Each one of these. And fluorite is such a nice stone. It feels good. These are tumbled, nice and soft feeling. HY21. Now I gotta find a bag. I gotta find a bag to put this in, so I didn't have a bag for these. One moment. Oh, there comes a bag. Ask for a bag? The bag is found. It's pretty magical sometimes how that happens. All right. HY22. And this is exactly nature's art. It is. It is nature's art. Let's look at some more nature's art. How about that? Ooh. I know some of you like the big chalcedony. The big chalcedony. This is, let's do $24 for this strand. This is the beautiful, it's a dyed chalcedony, but vintage strand. It's got the tassels, look, it's got the tassels on it. HY22. Beautiful, faceted, simple cut, glowy chalcedony. And, you know, when you see dyed chalcedony, you think, a lot of times you think things that are dyed that they're not that expensive. You start looking up some of this stuff. Sometimes this dyed chalcedony, especially this kind of vintage stuff, is expensive. It's expensive. So $24 a strand. That's an 8-inch strand. I think that's a really good price for really pretty kind of glowy stones. Let me give you a size. Let me just pick this one. This is kind of in the middle. 22.5 millimeters by 29.5 millimeters. HY22, $24. One available. I love this strand. I love the color. I think it's beautiful. And let's do this one too. Because this one, I think this is a quartz. It could be chalcedony, but I think it's a quartz. I'm going to price it. The reason I'm doing them together is because they're very similar in color. I'm going to, there's this one, but I'm going to price it low like it's a dyed quartz. But look at the colors. Very similar in color. They're both vintage strands. HY23, these are a faceted round. And if this is a dyed chalcedony, I just really underpriced myself. But it's not got the tassels, so that's sad when that's how we look. But I think it's, I'm pretty sure it's a dyed quartz. And this is a 10 millimeter faceted round. It's unmarked. That's why I'm not 100% sure. Susan says the big chalcedony sounds like a film title, right? Must be the Lebowski's California cousin, says Melinda, right? The big chalcedony. So there are these two, very similar in color. Let's see. Beautiful HY22 and HY23. $24 and half that at $12 for that strand there. That's 23, this is 22. Cool. Get in the bag. The tassels sometimes do not like to go in the bag. Lena says, someone save me and get them both. I know, Lennis, you like those big beads, especially that chalcedony, right? The dyed chalcedony is very nice. It is very nice. Oh, I also found another strand. I forgot about this one. I forgot I even had this one in here. Another strand of beautiful aquamarine. Oh, what do I want to do on this one? This one just surfaced out of nowhere too. I don't think I've ever shown this on the show before. It doesn't have a previous tag, so either it got lost, but I don't think I've ever shown this one. Let's do this one. This is what can I do this one for? That is it's such a green aquamarine. I'm going to do it for 26. I don't know if anybody's going to want it. I think it's a steal at that price, but this is aquamarine in this beautiful, look, the whole strand of it is this light kind of green aquamarine. It's not a moss aqua because that's usually darker, but it's this very light. This is a 16-inch vintage strand, $26, HY24, aquamarine pebbles, ovals. They are approximately 8.5 millimeters by 10 millimeters. HY24 aquamarine. Stunning, stunning, stunning color. It's so like green. Lena says, I got one, the last big chalcedony strands. I should have gotten both. No, you like those. You like those big beads. HY24. I will say 22 is still available. HY24. Aquamarine 16-inch strand. Beautiful little ovals. Vintage strand, of course. Vintage quality. Vintage green. Such a good color. I don't know where that came from either. I really don't. For those of you just tuning in, at the beginning we showed some of Andrew's artwork, like these that we never put into the online store. We forgot these. These are Andrew's Noble Creatures. So we found a few that were never in the online store. I've added them there to the Noble Creature collection. So these are hand charcoal drawings by Andrew on Bristol board with acrylics. And so those are in the online store. We also have this piece of artwork available. Our friend Susie said she was sending an email. I don't know if you sent it about this one or not. If you're still watching, Susie, I didn't get an email. I do have to check my spam. My email's been acting up lately. No, I don't see anything in there. So if you did send it, send that again. I don't know if this is the one you wanted or not. I may have been, the video has been laggy, so I don't know. I could very well be off. Don't mind me if I am. And then if you do a replay, he released some of this new series, finished this series up. And those are on his personal Facebook timeline that you can claim those for $75 each right now instead of $125 when they go into the online store. He's doing them at a discount because he's working on getting money for traveling. We also need tires on our car. So there you go, the life of small business owners, selling things at cheap to put tires on the car. So that's how that works sometimes, right? So these are available on Andrew's personal timeline on Facebook to claim at $75 each. Of course, if you see something you like and you're not on Facebook, you can also send us a screenshot via email, and we'll make sure they get claimed, and we'll send you out an invoice for them. So these are the ones that are available that are new in that series. And then we also reviewed the ones that are still available from the original release. All right. So that's just a little intermission there. If you missed anything in the beginning of the show, you definitely probably want to check those out. All right, we're on HY 25. HY 21 popped up as sold. Thank you so much. That's the fluorite. We appreciate that. Thank you. How about some blue chalcedony? Well, it's not really blue. Dyed chalcedony kite beads. We'll do these at $24. This is a very cool shape. This kite shape. It does very much match the color in 22 and the color in 23. 23 is just a touch greener, but look at these. Look at these. So HY 25 are these little kite, they call them kite shapes. That's what the old label said. This is an old vintage label, and they called it chalcedony kite faceted blue topaz color. So this is considered blue topaz color in the dyed chalcedony. And it's grade A chalcedony, it's listed. And these are 18 millimeters by 13.5 millimeters approximately for those kites. HY 25. Just, putting those all out there for you. Putting those all out there. Anna says those would be pretty with fluorite or aquamarine. Yeah, they would. Like, let's see. Thank you, Susie. So that griffin on the wood is now sold. Thank you so much. Like, look at that with that. It's a little bit on the, like when the chalcedony flashes, like in that kind of yellow green flash, you get that same as that aquamarine in HY 24. So these little aquamarines with that, look how that takes on the color that glows on, like chalcedony has that inner glow. I always say chalcedony has that beautiful inner glow, right? And so you get that beautiful color in that aquamarine when it glows. When it's not glowing, it's a little bit more blue than that aquamarine, right? So if you mix this with some other, I don't know if I have any, let me look in my bag of goodies. Oh, I did have this one, right? Yeah, this one's sold, but this is the darker blue aquamarine. So look at how all those, look at this, look at how that would all go so well together. Hint, hint, anybody picking up on that? But look at that. That would be some pretty fun stuff right there. You got a good mix of kind of those blues and like how the dyed chalcedony pulls out the blue from this, but the flash and the glow from the blue chalcedony pulls out the green in the other aquamarine. Okay, let me put these back before I get them all mixed up. I don't want to mix everything up. 16. 17, HY 24, 24. This is this one. This is this one. This is that one. This is the one we're talking about right now. I'm already getting myself mixed up. All right, there we go. HY 25 are the kites. One of them available. And this is just a pretty subtle combination, right? This says add some pretty mother of pearl or pearls. Yes, get that C thing going. Get the C thing going. All right. Let's see. What are we doing? 25. I feel like I'm losing my brain today. Just don't mind me. Just play along, please. I found these. Bam. Some of the most beautiful tiger eye I have seen in a long time. I'm going to put $28 on this. This is an obscenely low price for the beauty that is this tiger eye. This is a vintage strand. $28. If I sold these by the piece, I would sell them for about $4 a piece. So there you go. Stunning tiger eye beads. These are large at about 14.5, we'll say 14.5 millimeters. And this is a 16-inch strand of beautiful, big tiger eye with significant chatoyance. How about that? Significant chatoyance. It makes it sound very special. Significant chatoyance. But it's true. It's not untrue. Each one of those is a little marvel of its own. So HY26, $28. One strand available only. Gotta find a bag for that. That'll do. That'll do. Okay, HY26. I hope people's emails are coming in okay because I seem to have email issues. HY27. 301. 301. I know some of y'all like pink glass. Some of our rewatchers like pink glass too, so I'll throw this out there and see where it goes, what happens. This is HY27. This is some more vintage German glass. We had some leaves and flowers earlier. This is more of that vintage German glass, this time in the white and pink color. Super pretty. This is from our friend Ava Motherwell. As I said, we always use her prices. We never try to undercut her. She's a good friend of ours. And we get these things from her. So there are 20 beads on the strand. Vintage German glass. That's a really good price. $6 anyway. We wouldn't go lower than that anyway. This is about 7.5 millimeters by about 9 millimeters on those flowers. And this is pow, those are the bomb. The tiger eye, or yeah, if that's what you meant, yes. Or maybe these. Maybe this is what you meant. These are super cool. I don't know. Either way, you're right. Either way, HY27, and that has sold multiple times. Thank you so much. Well, if you like that, then I think I have another strand of pinkish HY28. Are these? Hold on. I gotta go back in time a little bit. Make sure. No, these are. We had those. We had those. We had those. No, okay. These are definitely different. I want to make sure these weren't the same color as the other ones. We had these in a blue and red earlier, and in my mind, I got that a little confused. These are another beautiful pink and blue flower, this time in a darker color. Marianne isn't here, so it's okay to show pink, says Susan, right? I know some of y'all love the pink. We have people who rewatch often that they really love that pink color. And I think Mary Jane often asks for pink during the Total Request Lives. So I always try and throw in a little bit of pink here and there. Got Marianne who hates pink and Mary Jane who loves pink. HY28, these little pink and blue, little daisy-like flowers. These are about 8.5 millimeters. One strand available, 20 beads on the strand again, only $6. West German glass. Vintage West German glass. HY28. Not West German, vintage German. Vintage German. It came from when people in Czechoslovakia had to flee, and they fled to Germany. Pink is cool. I love the blue flourishes on 28, says Susan. Me too. A little bit of blue in there. That means you can put it with more things, right? You can match it up. Goes with more things that way. More choices. Who wants less choices? Who wants fewer choices? I want more choices. All right. Let's see here. We got 2 more lots to go. Two more. Oh, I missed a Bob Burkett thing. Whoa. So let's do these. $7.50. That was at the bottom of the bag. Some more Bob Burkett items. Oh, we just sold 28. Thank you so much. I think my email's starting to catch up. HY29 is this larger bronze skull by Bob Burkett, designed by Bob Burkett, cast by his friends who he trusts to cast for him. Hello, Lisa says, hello, everyone. Newbie here. Where are you located? We are located in Ligonier and Johnstown, Pennsylvania. So our filming studio and our metal workshop is in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. We had our shop there for 13 years, and we moved our shop last year to Johnstown, Pennsylvania. So our shop's there, and we live here in Ligonier and have our studio here in Ligonier. So anyway, Western Pennsylvania, if you don't know much about Pennsylvania, or if you're not from the area. I don't know where you're from, Lisa. Where are you from? This is Bob Burkett. This is a metal skull in bronze, 12 millimeters by about 12.5 millimeters by about 12 millimeters. And these are bronze cast skulls designed by Bob Burkett, who is a master metalsmith, but he has health issues that no longer generally allow him to carve wax, and he has issues with sight and his heart. So these are previous designs of his that he has entrusted to a casting friend who does these for him. HY29, they're $7.50 a skull in bronze, which is a good price for bronze, and there are 3 of these available. Nice large hole. Let me show you the size on the hole. This is about 4 millimeters on the hole. He says, wow, I'm from Lehigh County. Nice. You're close to us. Not too far away. How wild is that? That's pretty wild. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We do these lives 5 days a week. So if you're a jewelry maker, Lisa, if you like to make jewelry, we sell 30 to 40 lots of items a night. We start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time every weeknight, Monday through Friday. And we chit chat for about the first hour and just hang out and get to know each other and catch up with each other. It's a daily thing. We just like to, get to know our community and allow you all to get to know one another. And then we start this selling show with, like I said, usually 30 to 40 lots of different things and a lot of vintage stuff, a lot of things you might not find anywhere else. And we try and give you excellent prices on them. So I don't know if you're a jewelry maker or not, or even if you're just a crafter of some sort, you might like a lot of the things that we carry. And we do ship worldwide, so you can pick up if you want to make a trip over, or we can ship to you, no problem. And let's see, we're on HY30. This is the last one for tonight. I was going to do 40 lots, but I called it the Thursday 30 because that alliteration I couldn't not do when it came to me. So we're going to stop at 30 lots. Do you make jewelry, Lisa? She says, sounds good. If you make stuff, let us know. Make lots of friends here too. Make lots of friends here on the lives. That's something else. What do I want to show you? These are really nice. Let's end with these. These are $2 each. Let's end with an easy $2 ones. Lena says, or if you are a handmade art collector, you will like it here. That's true too. That's true too. We have lots of artwork. I make pottery. Andrew, my husband, makes paintings and drawings and sculptures and polymer clay and tons of other things. So he makes a lot more than I do, but hopefully you'll like it all. HY30. This is super dark vintage carnelian. We're selling these by the bead. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 beads, it looks like. Unless more fell out in the bag here. I'm going to put 17 on here. So if you want to claim anything from this live, this is how we do it. We give you a lot number. We give you a price. We tell you how many of them we have at that price. We show them to you. You take down the lot number, for in this case HY30, put it in the subject line of an email, and send that email to info@allegorygallery.com. And that's how we do it. That's how you claim. Super easy. If you send us an email and you get the item, you're promising to take it. So don't send emails for things you don't want. Lisa says, love to craft. Oh, good. We love to craft too. So these are vintage carnelian, super deep carnelian. Some of these have lovely patterns in them. 32.5 millimeters by 21 millimeters by approximately 4 millimeters. Super nice and thin, but different, all different kind of looks. Look at these. Ooh, so pretty. This is HY30. 17 of them available. $2 a bead only. $2 a bead. And it says those would be great pendants. Yes, they would at $2. What? You kidding me? $2. The nice thing about that is, carnelian is a very grounding stone. It's a very nice calming stone. It's also one of those that can be very gender neutral. Most people are not going to mind wearing this color, this style. We don't like to gender anything because we believe anybody can wear whatever they want, right? That's wear the stone you like, wear the stone that makes sense to you. But inevitably, when we go to shows, guys come across our booth and sometimes say that they wouldn't wear that or they wouldn't wear this. This is one that it's a nice deep color. It has some nice patterns on it. It could be paired well with wood or bone or antler, and it's a stone you don't have to shy away from that way. So there you go. That's HY30. $2 each, 17 of those available. They used to be $2.50, by the way. So that was the old tag. Giving them to you still at the $2 price. Lisa says, do you sell any silk flowers? I don't think we have any silk flowers. We're mostly a jewelry supply, so mostly jewelry things, but you never know. We have a huge, you know, our studio is full of stuff, and sometimes those things pop out. Sometimes things like that show up. You never know. You can always send us an email and ask about things so we can see if we've got anything, or if you're looking for something specific, you can send us a picture and let us know, and we can definitely check it out for you. You never know what we're going to come up with, what we've got. Let me flip the camera around here real quick, and we'll say a quick good night. I just hear the bells tolled 10, so we are getting ready to, well, I don't know what that means. That means nothing to me. 10 o'clock, we're night people. But for you all, it's getting late. So thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, with me mostly. Andrew is doing some painting. So again, if you missed the beginning part of this, we showed some of his latest paintings, and these are available on his Facebook timeline, so you can check those out and claim them if you'd like. They're $75 a painting right now on his timeline. If they don't sell out and they go into the online store, they're going to go up to $125 a painting, because that is the actual retail price. But because he's going on a trip and he needs gas money and we need tires for our car, we're offering them first at $75 at a discount on his timeline. That's a lot of work for each painting. Each one's hand done. You got the metallic backgrounds in there. Everything is hand done on the paintings, and only $75. So those are available on his timeline. If you missed that, you can check out all the information doing a replay of this video. We also have part of the series that came before these. Those are the newest ones. This is the start of the series that we have shown you in the past, but if you haven't watched our lives, you may have missed it. So you can check those out as well. And they are available on his timeline to claim as well. All right. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We thank you so much for all of your support, especially in times like this when Andrew's getting ready for a trip. It does really help pad the budget, because things like gas money and other, he has to eat along the way, food and all that's an extra expense. So we really do appreciate it. And we will see you back here tomorrow. I'll be back. Andrew's leaving in the morning, but I'll be at the store tomorrow. And then I'll come home and we'll do a live together again at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We hope you'll join us. All right. Please be sure to like and follow our Facebook page. Also subscribe to our YouTube account at Allegory Gallery, and check out our website at allegorygallery.com. All right. Good night, everybody. Good night. Good night. Have an amazing one, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye, everybody.